So Sauer's retaining possession at least. Here's Rugani. Take a chance with the pass. Locatelli unable to connect with Conceição.
We're here. Game just ended. Waiting for my boys to join, and for everyone else, actually. Give us your thoughts in the chat, and we shall begin soon. Very disappointing, to be honest. We were not that bad. Man. Seasiders TV is here. Proud of the boys tonight. Gave a real good effort. Openda has to score. Yes, he does. Sure does. Just shoot. Why do you need that first touch? Just go for it. It's a gift. Oh, man. Thought it would be a lot worse than this, but all right. There's more of you here now. I'm just waiting for my co-host to join. Should be about 4 or 5 of us here. The post Real Madrid reactions. Well, initial reaction is actually disappointment. I didn't think we would get these many chances, and I didn't think Real Madrid would squander so many chances of theirs. It was their game to lose, to be honest. And a goal came from a. How do you even describe that moment? Marco says we're lucky to be only one down. Very true. We deserve the point. SJ Massimoletti. All right, Frederick is here. Frederick, are you disappointed that I am? Damiano
I'm
is-
just I don't care anymore at this point. In all
Oh,
honesty,
don't say that, Fred.
no, I'm serious. Like this was a Real Madrid team that could have been beaten easily. I think if a side like Atalanta would play Madrid today in all full force, they would have won.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. We lack quality in every department, and it shows. And I understand that some people are a bit uplifted by the fact that we created some chances and blah blah blah. But this was a Real Madrid that was playing on flip flops. They were not interested
Yeah.
in putting in a high effort performance. They were thinking about the Sunday's game against Barcelona. And I'm not gonna try to badmouth Di Gregorio, but for me, he remains a modest keeper, as the whole squad is modest and mediocre. And these are just the facts. We can talk about this all we want, but
Well, before we begin, let's play the intro. Wait for Zach. There's plenty of stuff going on, plenty of stuff to talk about. Welcome to, I think it's episode number 320.
Parte Del Piero, rete Del Piero.
Pallone con i contadini per Nedved,
Pirlo, la conclusione in rete. Andrea Pirlo, un gol pazzesco. Del Piero, gol! Alex Del Piero. Palla di Pogacar, Pogba, rete! Un gol incredibile! Pogba fa esplodere lo Juventus Stadium.
And of course,
Buongiorno, 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 come ha detto lei, buongiorno, buongiorno.
Mr. Buongiorno off, started the game this time around, and we got a bench version of Vlahovic. It's a shame he didn't convert his chances. Certainly had a couple. We'll get into that. Damiano, Frederick, welcome, boys. This was a rough one. We got a lot to talk about. Should we start with the starting 11? A couple of notes there. You guys don't have the starting 11 in front of you, do you? Let's see what Zach says. Zach, what's up, buddy? You don't have the starting 11, do you?
Starting 11? Yeah, what about it?
I have a couple notes on it. However, I don't have the actual starting 11.
we started with Digre, Gatti, Digre, Gatti, Rugani, Kelly, Cambiasso, Thuram, Koopmeiners, Kalulu, Yildiz, McKennie, and Dusan.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zach said, we got the off the bench version of Vlahovic, didn't we? Just minus
To start
the
the
goal.
game, yeah.
Minus the goal. I mean, I feel like that was a good move. Obviously it didn't convert, but it was good to see a strong starter out there, someone who's seen the Champions League lights. And like I said, minus the goal, he did pretty well. That run, that we'll get into it, but that run, the the foot race was pretty impressive. That should have been a goal, amongst other ways. I'll let the boys talk, but it's just disappointment. My first thoughts were truly a disappointment because this was a game that we could have won. There was a lot of positives to look at, but Frederick said that they were looking forward to the game against Barcelona mostly. That's why we didn't get the dangerous version of Real Madrid. Also, João Mario absent one more time. Kalulu probably will be mentioned the most on this podcast. Very frustrating performance. Maybe I'm wrong here, but it's half of the mistakes that he made should not have been there. No Locatelli. I'm sure Frederick will connect the dots in between Locatelli's absence and what's going on behind the scenes at Juve. Why don't we start with that, Frederick? Locatelli's absence, your feelings about Locatelli aside, you really think that was some ulterior motive behind that?
There was an argument between Locatelli and Tudor post-Como. Tudor feels that Locatelli is also responsible as a captain for not being a captain on the team, so to speak. Tudor feels that Locatelli needs to step up in terms of performances, but also should have the authority to let the team know that this is not enough. And a bit of a heated discussion after Como after that. So, yeah, take of that what you will. But
Gotcha. So let's see what WhoScored.com is giving us as far as player ratings. Gatti very well, 7.7, 7.9 for Di Gregorio. Let's see what the lowest. Kalulu 6.0. He is the lowest. I mean, and he had opportunity to be one of the men of the match, if you will.
That's on Tudor. That's on Tudor.
He certainly had chances. Kalulu, but like we always say, the quality of the players is a little low. Stuff they did, the mistakes that they made a better team, a better players, and I see the boys want to chime in. Zach.
So Kalulu was not put necessarily in a position to be successful, right? Knowing his skill set, he's not a right wing back. And you're asking him to do something that his skill set really doesn't have. And, he might be the lowest rated, but I appreciate what he did today. He was very structured defensively. He was very structured on the ball. Defense. That's what he is. Okay. And when you say he's lacking on the offense, it's true, but you're not asking a Fiat to be a Ferrari, right? It can't. So when we're getting later into the game and we're seeing him, these opportunities and these runs happen on the right, then it's up to Tudor, like Frederic said, to make a change, put in João Mario, someone who's very good going forward and someone who can work the ball inside and outside and is faster. That just was something that we were clamoring for early in the second half, right, guys? And the fact that the change didn't happen is not Kalulu's fault, and the fact that Kalulu's skill set just isn't fit for that more offensive role is also not his fault. He is who he is, and it's up to the coach to put the team in a position to be successful.
If we were to put Chico in goal and he get in 5-6 goals, then it wouldn't be fair to blame Chico. It's identically the same thing. I know it's a bit bending corners a bit, but it's the same thing. And the thing that bothers me most is you've tried it like 10 times already, and everybody can see that this is not Kalulu's position, that all of his fortes are gone missing in that position, because Kalulu is somebody, if you put him, in my opinion, in a man-to-man situation, he's very difficult to beat, knows how to play the ball into the midfield, and that's about it. If you keep asking him to do the whole wing for, 70 minutes of the game, I mean...
Okay. Yeah. I agree. And a lot of people in the chat here. By the way, you can catch the recording of this on Spotify later. I agree. Okay, he's out of position, but there were you have to agree with me. There were moments where he did not need to be prime Dani Alves to do some of the things that he did. Uh,
Well,
not to be too harsh on him, but there
Look,
were moments where it
y-
was like, come on, man, it's a pass 5 yards away from you, and you somehow give it away.
you say we're going to talk a lot about Kalulu. I don't think Kalulu. I think we talked everything that there is about Kalulu. He's not very good going forward, and he wasn't very good going forward. I mean, that's what you could expect. I
Okay.
think we have to talk about people whose job is to do something that they're supposedly good at, and they failed.
All right, who are the people that's supposed to do the job and they failed?
So we have to talk about well, you get 2.5 missed chances. The 2 missed chances, Openda, like Openda, Locatelli to Openda to David to Openda. That is money right there. Like wide open goal, takes the unnecessary touch, gets blocked.
I wanted to cry.
Dusan Vlahovic, credit to him, bodies Militao to keep priority position, then can't bury the finish. And then the half one I consider, because it wasn't actually a shot, was the yield is cross to the back post where Dusan didn't finish his run, which is inexcusable, but I call it half because it's not like he shot and it was saved or something. He just didn't do it. Like, these are people that have the perfect opportunity to do exactly what they're supposed to do, and they didn't. You can harp on Kalulu all you want. I think based on what he's been asked to do, he did decently. And so I don't really want to accept a ton of Kalulu criticism. I want to focus on those chances and those opportunities that we're left begging.
As well as the goal came from us ball watching defensively. I mean, it came off the post, but if we're not ball watching, we're stuck there, and Bellingham came in.
Even prior to that, when it was Vinny, I think, who created the chance and the shot.
McKennie
It took on four of our players, and nobody tried to intervene. He could do whatever he wanted at that point. So that's asking for trouble. And then if a shot comes off deflected by a keeper or by a post, but half of the defense is sleeping, like Rugani and Kelly were at that point.
Yeah, I think it's more. I'm with Frederic and Damiano. That's more on Kalulu, Gotti, McKennie letting that shot cross come in, right? I think beyond that, it's all bang bang. Yes, you have to follow your runners, stay on your toes, so forth with Rugani and Kelly. But that ball, when you have 3-on-1, it should never get through.
And I want to talk about the forwards a bit as well, and the players as a whole, because the main consensus here is that we bought decent players a couple of seasons. I think players that should be or would suffice to enable us to at least do something in the Champions League and at least finish fourth. We don't see that at this point, or haven't seen that the last seasons. And I think a lot has to do with confidence as well, because it's unbelievable that a guy like Openda, who scores goals even when getting out of bed, a Jonathan David, because you could check the numbers speak for themselves. Even Dusan at the Fiorentina time, Koopmeiners, Douglas Luiz. Every time we buy such a player with potential high value and where the numbers speak for themselves, it looks as if we bought their cousins who can play football. I mean, there is a line to be followed here. There is a thread that goes on missing, and I think it has to do with confidence, because the Openda, and I've watched Openda play numerous games, and Openda mentally unblocked would have put away that chance. I'm not saying that that second touch, which was unnecessary, but the Openda last season or 2 seasons before that would have remedied that by creating another space right before taking the final shot. But you can tell by the players that even though quality is an issue, the quality that they have doesn't come out on the pitch. And I think it has to do with A, confidence, and B, a lack of decent training. Because the way I see it, after 20 minutes, so a lot of players that were already tanked after 20 minutes in a Champions League game. And for me, that's inexcusable.
You guys want
Can I take a step back?
Yes, please.
Like a big step back, because I joined after you were kind of already opened everything up, Farhad. But we lost, so none of us are happy. But like, am I the only one here that thinks this was a good performance? Maybe the second best performance since Parma.
And that's why I'm upset. That's what before you joined, I told the people in the chat, there was a couple of them. I said I'm not upset because we played bad. I'm upset because we could have won this game and just quality showed. That's why I'm upset.
But I think from a narrative standpoint, I'm listening to what Frederic is saying. Let's talk. I want to kind of take a different tact. Yeah, we can rehash some of our old talking points. That yes, they were tired and stuff, but there was actually a lot that went into our performance. And I don't care about Real looking ahead to Barcelona; it's irrelevant to me. Let's talk about what we did well, because if there's any hope for this team, taking a different tact from what Frederic was talking about, we have to look for that in the patterns of play. And I actually saw for the first time in forever some good things on the pitch that we haven't seen in a while. And so if you don't mind, I'd like to talk about a couple, get your guys' thoughts on a couple things.
I mean, we definitely came out better than we did against Como. We came out showing some fight, which is huge. Sorry to cut you off, Zach.
No, go ahead.
Oh, that's what I was just going to throw in there. That we came out looking better than we came out with the vengeance a little bit. We came out with the head of steam instead of Como. We didn't even come out at all.
One of the things, Frederic, that you said that you and Kevin were talking about, and I totally agreed with in the Como post game, was the lack of cohesion in our team play. And on both sides of the ball, I saw a much better disciplined organization. On the defensive side, we saw actually a structured, tight 5-4-1 instead of sort of just amoeba defense, which so often we've seen this year under Turin. And on the offensive side, we actually saw some really well executed combination play to fashion some counterattacks and some movement up the pitch. Again, something that we haven't seen since Parma. I think when you put the attitude that Damio was talking about with a little bit more of the cohesion that we've been so lacking against this Real Madrid side, whether they were their best version or not, like that is promising. Something that, again, we haven't seen in 7 games.
For me, it's a fluke. And why do I think it's a fluke? Because you're playing a Champions League game at Bernabeu against Real. If that doesn't get you a bit more motivated than playing at Lake Como against Como, then I don't know what will. So that's one explanation for the Grinta side that we showed at least the first 20 minutes. Another thing is this Real Madrid side left a lot of space. And our issue is playing teams like the likes of Como, Verona, who we need to beat because we need to finish fourth. They make it much more difficult for us. So this for me was, and I agree with Zach partially, a fair performance. But what are we getting from that? Because if we play Cremonese in 10 days and they lock themselves up in their area, we won't get any further. So that's the thing that irks me, because you had all the stars aligned in order to at least gain a point today, and we didn't. So I can understand you taking a positive take on that, but for me, it's quite the opposite, because for us, it was the game of the year up until now. And, a draw would have made things so much better for us for the future of Champions League, or at least eventually passing the round of or getting into the first 25. So I don't know. I've seen too many moments for me where a coach or a player should intervene at that point, and they didn't. Whether be it the strikers, whether be it a Tudor who's not stubborn enough and puts João Mario there. So there were a lot of things that were missing for me, and I can't accept the fact that we haven't won since what is it, September 16th or something?
In a long time.
So I can follow you in a sense that I see some positives, but for me the negatives outweigh them a lot more, and pressure's only going to be even worse after this game. especially on Tudor, and the players mentally again. And I mean,
Yeah,
I
let's not forget. Everyone's happy. We played well. Didn't it's like, hey, we didn't embarrass ourselves, so that's a positive. But it's a loss. It's a second loss in a row. There were 5 draws and 2 losses in a row. I'm looking at standings right now. We are 25th, right above the line of the playoffs. And Real
We haven't
Madrid
scored
is
a
in
goal though in like 3 games.
Yeah.
5th
That's
place. Yeah.
it's pretty.
Let's
Not a
take
good
a look
sign.
at a couple of comments. We're so happy you guys are joining us. This is again a record beater. So I shall play the sound of the kids being excited because we have so many viewers. Oh, nope. There we go. Kids are happy. So let's move on to a couple of kids are excited. There's a couple of comments that I would love to read. Seasiders TV. Only thing that annoyed me tonight was the performance of the referee. Also think Vlahovic has to be the starting striker. I'm sorry, referee gave us a bunch of passes. Let's not. Referee was good. It could have been awful at one more time. One of those Real Madrid games that gets ruined by the ref. But what did you guys think of the tackle that Conceição did on Vini Jr.? I'm actually
300% ball, Farhad.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a
300%
great
ball.
tackle.
500%, even 500.
Maybe
Great.
more.
He
Great.
took the leg first, in my opinion. I mean, if it was the other way around, we would have been screaming bloody murder right now. Let's be honest here. He took the ball eventually, but he took the leg out first. So we were.
Oh,
I think we
so
were given a bit of a pass.
It didn't really look like it looked. I mean, he was pulling him the first part of a little bit, but there was mutual struggle. Referee's kind of far. The players were way ahead of him. I don't know. I'm just happy it wasn't a foul because that's a red.
No,
But-
it was probably a foul, and but the ref did not want to give it. He did not want to give it.
Yeah. He gave a couple of, even at the end there. The fans were super unhappy about another moment. I don't remember, but I'd say he was considering he was at the Bernabeu. Referee did well.
Yeah, I don't think he had any impact on the game.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Morning, lads from Australia. Missed the second half. Had to drive to work. It's crazy reading the comments and seeing how time difference is. I mean, it's the middle of the day here. Australians are driving to work, and Europeans are going to bed soon.
Can I shout out the Juventus supporters Belgium club? They're also watching. So
Let's go. Hold on, they're somewhere here.
Yeah, they're just on the street from you, Frederic.
Yeah, they're practically my neighbors, but they decided to join the stream anyway. So
Nice.
Yeah,
guys.
I was begging for a beautiful Yildiz goal and a Del Piero celebration at the Bernabeu. That would have been sweet. That would have been, missed an opportunity to get one because.
Yeah,
Real Madrid were
he never had
beatable.
the chance. He never had the chance, and I think, but he was more of a distributor, right? And I think the nature of the role and the guy, you want to see something. Really, you just want to see us win. I don't really care how. And his contribution on that cross to Duchamp, where he didn't finish the run, was exactly what we needed to get back into the game. Or actually, at that point, take the lead, because I think Real scored right after that, and so I think, and then he hit the wall in terms of his legs, right? You always want that picturesque moment, but I think it's a team game, and we had the opportunities through a bunch of different players today contributing, and it wasn't meant to be. That being said, I want to go back to, from an overall performance standpoint, considering 0 of us expected to win. I'm not going to leave. I'm disappointed we lost, but I'm not going to leave this one like I did the Como game.
For sure. I'm also really shocked. One of the things I was pleasantly surprised about was there was at least 12 corners, maybe more, and we we conceded 0 from those corners. That honestly, any team going to the corner spot now against Juve is just so scary to me. And I don't think they did their their homework. Real Madrid. Also, one thing to mention: we mentioned defensive cohesiveness. They did really. Juventus did really well when it came to not kind of. It's fun. It's funny how we kept the ball when it came to defense. We did the back and forth thing, the tiki taka, but we just couldn't get past the halfway line. Like, we did everything correctly. The defense plays so well together with the short passes to eliminate the threat of a press, and then in the
I'm-
middle of the park,
I'm raising
you lose the
my
ball.
hand. I'm raising
Go
my
ahead.
hand, Farhad.
Go ahead, Zach.
Who on our team could
Yes.
spray a
Oh, pop
long
quiz.
ball that could bypass the press and release forwards?
Does it rhyme with Schmuckashmeli?
Yeah. Coincidentally, a guy who was on the bench for 70 minutes, and as soon as he came on, started spraying long balls to help facilitate, attacking opportunities. In fact, was the one who fed the ball into the appendimis that resulted in the appendimis. Like, when you think of the game plan to park the bus, okay, fine, we're playing Real Madrid, you're going to park the bus. Nobody likes it, but it's practical considering the circumstances. You need a fast forward and players who can release them. And you start No Locatelli and Dusan, who's our slowest forward. I mean, when you talk, Frederic kind of alluded to it, the Tudor effect. I mean, what's the Tudor effect in this game? We came out with the right energy, but was the starting 11 right? And what's with waiting to, what do my notes say, the 74th minute to make me
74th is inexcusable.
substitutions when you're losing in the 58th?
What about Yildiz being replaced, unless it's an injury, which I don't think anything was there.
No, I think he was just tired.
Mhm.
He
Tired, yeah.
seemed tired the last couple of games, and I've had it a bit with we put all this weight on Kanon's shoulders. Granted, he's the strongest player on our team, the one with the most perspective, but he's being surrounded by football idiots. I'm sorry, we just don't have any smart players. If you look at, and there's always this comparison, yes, but Del Piero this and Del Piero that. When Del Piero came on the scene, he was surrounded by a lot of decent, high-profile players that
Including the coach.
not only in the dressing room but also on the pitch helped him grow. This is a whole other perspective. You put a guy 19 years old in and you expect him to do everything, as we did in the Como game. Pass the ball to Kenan and let's put out a Hail Mary. That's not the way it works. Kenan Yildiz is a striker, or in my opinion, a shadow striker that will be one of the best who ever played the game if he's surrounded by competent and capable people, and he doesn't have to waste his energy on running back and forth the sideline in order to receive a pass.
Yeah. So let's talk about Josh Benton's comment here in the chat. Do you guys think this recent run of form will hurt the chances of Yildiz extends? I know he loves the club, but if he thinks Juve isn't headed in the right direction, he may consider growing somewhere else. We did discuss the last couple episodes. Every time he has a great performance, that's exactly what we think. They need to build a team around him, and you just can't let such a gem go, because you can't
It's an
structure a good team.
It's an appreciation of his talent that we're also insecure about his future at the club.
He's the LeBron, and we're the Cavs of 2008, 2009.
As Freddie was saying, that we compare him to Del Piero, but Del Piero had, studs all around him. He had Trezeguet, Nedved. I mean, who does Kenan have? You know what I mean? Like, if he doesn't do it himself, we have Conceição and Dusan. But I mean, there's no comparison. You know what I mean? So it's like we do put a lot of weight on his shoulders.
Definitely. Let's talk about my boy Kalulu. Let's say João Mario comes out there. We're still, I'm going by Frederic's words. João Mario has fallen out of favor with Tudor because of his defensive. So I guess if we had to choose, I choose a better defense with Kalulu than better going forward with João Mario, right?
No, I wouldn't.
You'd still start.
I wouldn't. Not against Real Madrid. I'm sorry. If you choose for Kalulu against Como, where you don't need your right wing or left wing back to move forward this much, then I'd say, put Kalulu there. But now, with the lack of technicality we have at the moment and the lack of danger that we can provide, I think the best defensive is the offense. And you could say, yeah, but you have Mbappe there, you have this there, you have that there. All right, I agree with you. But if we start, and I said this in the chat as well to Zach, I said, wait 10 minutes until we concede. It was written, you're going to get a goal in at least against Real Madrid if you don't have a star studded defense. So why not be a bit more proactive and positive and try to put somebody there with attacking qualities? And you have the player now, develop him. Let him play those games against the Real Madrid where he possibly suffers but maybe learns. Why put Kululu there after you've tried this a dozen times already and you know that it's not working? I'm I just can't follow Tudor's thoughts right now. I think he's all over the place.
Even if you start with Kalulu, which maybe is not ideal, but from a defensive standpoint was really solid. When you go down 1-0 in the 58th minute and you see that Kalulu's legs are gone, put someone else who can run into those same spaces and have attack. If it ends up being conceding another goal due to the defensive liability of João Mario, and I understand that goal difference could very well make a difference at the end of the table in the Champions League, but you're already losing. I mean, is the signal keeping Kalulu on that you're fine losing as long as it's only 1-0? That's not a message I particularly enjoy. I'd rather go for it, put João Mario in. If we concede, go down 2-0. Look, at least you went for it. At least you had the courage to try to equalize, if not win, and that's what Juventus should be. And so that's what I wanted to see.
I'm struggling to find the sound drop, but he's got the biggest testicles of the game. Who's our man of the match, boys?
Di Gregorio.
Come on, say it. Yes.
Oh wait, there it is, Frederic.
Let's go.
No, credits where credits due. Although I should mention that double save he made. The first one was pure class. The second one was just dumb luck because the guy just aimed at his chest and it hit him there. But
hey, he was
and
there.
this is
Come on, man.
he was there, of course. But no, I'm not a hater. But I mean, this is the thing. We're so getting used to, and we don't do that. I mean, it's not something that we think about when we're doing it, but we're so getting used to mediocrity, and it's baffling. I mean, look at the keepers. I know you mustn't dwell on the past, but if you look at what we had and where we're going now, the decline is the technicality. When Locatelli is your best midfielder and the most technical midfielder you have, then it's time to
Frederic.
Yes.
Give the guy a pass.
No. No, a goalkeeper needs.
Di Gregorio was the man of the match or not?
Courtois won points for Real Madrid tonight. Di Gregorio didn't. Simple as that. My opinion.
Wait. So, Frederic, is he your man of the match or not?
Our man of the match. He is. No. Don't get me wrong. He is. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you're a keeper, you mustn't be considered by just your performance in one game. And this goes for all football players. But for me, Di Gregorio has never been a keeper that gained us some points. Even still today, when he did a good job, it's not like we could say like he intervened 6 or 7 times, because that wasn't the case either.
Well, hold on, Frederic. Could Di Gregorio reasonably have done something on the goal?
Yeah, I think so. I think
so? Then that's what it comes down to. Because if the answer is no, then he did save 2 clear-cut chances, one in the first half in the 40th minute and one in the second with the double save. He did. If you believe that he should have done better on the goal, then I agree with you. If you say no, then he did everything he could to put us in a position to
that's my
point.
That's my point, because and I'm not sure if you guys can watch the replay, but I looked at the replay like 3 or 4 times. When you see the shot from Vinny come in, he doesn't stretch his arm fully. Like it's bent a bit, so to speak. I don't know how to put it, but it's just an indication that his reaction was a bit slow or slower. I mean, it's not slow as in he's a bad keeper, but it was just slower than a world class keeper. Let's put it at that. And the arm was not stretched fully. So I think if he would have reacted sooner as a world class keeper and stretched his arm out fully, he could have saved the shot. That's not to say that he wouldn't put it in somebody else's feet and they would have scored. I mean, there's no way of telling that. But I mean, for us,
Well,
he was kind of
either
magic.
way, either way.
have a very big testicles.
Frederic, he's my man of the match, but he sucks. But he's my man of the match. That's sort of that's
So-
sort of the
so-
sum of it.
Was there an outfielder that, you know, let's take Di Gregorio out of the equation?
I'm gonna credit Gatti. I think one,
That was good today.
Freddie Katz.
I've been very critical of him this year because I think he's been lacking in his one-on-one defense. He's, I believe, been at fault for several of the goals we've conceded this year. Step slow, bad defending. But today we saw Gatti from kind of last year, the hard-nosed, right position, right time, physical Gatti, who in a lot of ways, like some of those Di Gregorio saves, kept us in the game and made his presence felt amongst the Real Madrid players in and around the box. And so, you know, I think if I remember correctly, Farhad, you said he was the highest rated person on our team on who scored. I'm not surprised by that, considering all the interceptions and tackles and just the overall presence he had in there, playing like, you know, maybe to go back to that Locatelli point, he played like you would expect a leader to play in that back line with a lot of energy and leading by example.
Can I ask another question? I'm going to let Damiano. Sorry, Damiano. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that Gatti had a nice shot on goal early in the first half.
He did.
Yeah, he could have scored a screamer for sure. Do you guys want to go through a couple of comments? We don't have to reply to them. I just want to make sure that the kids in the chat know we are.
Is Damiano going to do his player of the match, Farhad?
Damiano, all you, baby.
I mean, if you guys take those two, I mean, I thought Digre was pretty good. I didn't really watch the replay in depth, but I thought he couldn't do much on that, and I thought the defense kind of let him down on that rebound.
Well, Joshua is shouting out Frederick. He's saying, "Gee, so harsh on Digre. He's been solid for us. I don't understand the hate. You must be new around here."
Yes, must be new around here.
Yes, he's not world class. He's not world
You're
class.
not from around these parts, boy.
Well, welcome. First, Joshua, welcome.
Yeah, we have a lot of new listeners here. Every time there's a new.
Frederic does not.
Yeah. Frederick is not a. I thought he was solid. He's the second keeper this year only not to concede from Mbappe. It was really, if there was a positive.
Oh, that changes everything then.
There was a positive from this game, and the fact that, I mean, you guys saw the pregame WhatsApp chat that we have with Turin Giants here. I mean, I was like, hey, maybe we may score one or two, but we're going to concede at least 3 or 4. Thank God that didn't happen. The team certainly did. And you know what? The commentators on Paramount Plus, they had Juve written off before the game even started. They were not fans.
What did we do in our previous performances to give them hope? Like, we didn't even have hope, and we're the fans. Like, why would they have more hope than we?
Not even Tudor had hope, for fuck's sake.
But yeah, I mean, Juventus, Real Madrid, probably in a European game, top 5 encounters. Always looking forward to playing Real Madrid. We always go into the game, hey, Real Madrid are unbeatable. They are these, but you know what? Sometimes Juve win. There's certainly been super intense games between these two teams. Let's remember Champions League final, the almost comeback at the Bernabeu. The commentators touched on all of those games. It's never a boring game. Considering this was 1-0, it was still pretty good encounter. What do you guys think of McKennie's couple of shots there, trying to sneak in a corner? But yeah, people are shaking their.
He's been missing something this year. His touch has been off, and in the past, he's made up for a shaky touch by contributing, either scoring goals, making those overlapping runs through the middle, or by assists. And we have not seen any level of goal contribution or production to that extent, except I believe a goal that we scored eventually from a long throw that we've seen in years past. And with how bad his touch has been this year, it just means he's doing nothing but being negative on the pitch. And so, I ask my fellow American, name my fellow Texan, Mac, get it together, please.
I never was a big McKennie fan. I love his mentality and his heart, and the fact that if you see him outside of the game, he's always very cheerful and very positive. I like that because you need those kind of
I'm not
people in
laughing
the
at you. I'm
dressing room.
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. And if you saw McKennie and Coop today in midfield, it was like we plucked random people off the streets that play badminton their whole lives, and we just say, "Hey, you want to go and have a kick about it, Bernabeu? We have the field for an hour and a half. Come on, let's go." It was that bad, and this is where everything in our team falls apart. And Zach and I have been harping about this for 2 years now. The effing midfield. And that's your basics for any team. The strength of your midfields decides almost the overall strength of your squad. Because if you have midfielders who can create 30 chances a game and you have Padawin up front, eventually Padawin will put one in the back of the net. If you have defenders that are blind and disoriented, but you as a midfield can push back the opponent that they don't reach your penalty area, then you concede less. And yet we keep investing in strikers that have nothing to do with our game plan, that don't fit our team. And it's like we deliberately shoot ourselves in the foot by not investing in midfield and our wingbacks. And every season this gets exposed, and then we're all here like, okay, well, this is the problem. Hey, this was a problem last season. Yeah, but it was also the problem the season before that. If we don't get a sporting director in who can remedy this and has an overview of what needs to be done, then I don't know what to tell you.
I have a trivia question for you. We'll go to Farhad. I love giving these to Farhad.
All right, hold on. Where's Alessandro Belpiero is still at the Bernabeu. Well, we'll talk about. We'll talk about him. Yes.
All right. Coop, we're talking about Coop and Locatelli. Coop played 74 minutes. Locatelli played with extra time. 20? We'll say. Who completed more passes?
Does it rhyme with Schmoshmatelli?
No, they were even. So it was a trick question. But I mean, that kind of sums it up. I mean, the comment was hilarious because.
Well, let's read the comment because I don't think the podcast listeners saw it.
Oh yeah. So I'll read it. McKennie
yes.
marked Coop and Coop marked McKennie. Total chaos. They were 2 meters close to each other the entire game. That's from Arakari. And it's true. And McKennie only completed 3 more passes than Locatelli. And McKennie, he played the whole game, didn't he? They just again and this is maybe a Tudor comment. You go into this game and you're like, okay, the game plan was we are going to sit in tight 5-4-1. We're going to hit on the counter using quick combo play. Okay, so you need somebody who can release. You need someone who's fast. You need someone to link up to play off of. Probably the forward. Okay, the last one's going to be Yildiz. So who's going to release and who's going to run? And you pick Coop Miners to play in the Locatelli role. Did Coop Miners do any pass further than 5 meters? Not that I can remember.
I saw a comment on Twitter where someone said, "Oh, Rob, actually, our friend Rob, he said, I don't think the commentator mentioned Coop's name in however long this was just invisible."
I think halftime. I've got my notes here. Coop Miner had 12 touches and McKennie had 10. They were 2 of the 3 lowest touches in the entire game. Our midfield. And so then you say, okay, we're going to put Coop Miners, who passes 5 meters, as the long pass release guy in the midfield, and we're going to put our slowest forward as the starting guy. It was very frustrating to see. say someone like Openda, and I know that some folks in the chat were like, well, what does he do? Well, the one thing Openda does do above everything else is run faster than everybody else. And so, of course, with a deep block and try to release, that's the guy you go to. And then when you're going to bring Kostic on at the end of the game, you throw on Dusan to actually win a head ball instead of putting Kostic on with Openda and David, neither of whom are tall and win head balls.
Laughable.
Like, it's clear. Maybe it's not clear, or maybe I'm just crazy. Folks in the chat, please let me know if I'm crazy, but there just doesn't seem to be a sync between game plan, which I thought was fine considering the circumstances, and the players that Tudor puts on the pitch. Like, how many games have we said this? All of them?
And I'm convinced, utterly convinced, that if we put a midfield consisting of McKennie and Cope, like today, and we put those guys in wheelchairs on the pitch, they'd have the equal amount of touches they'd have without a wheelchair. I'm honestly convinced, because you never see them marking back down, creating space, playing a ball into space. You never see that. You never, ever, ever see that. And what I don't understand...
Starting Coop and McKennie at the Bernabeu is just madness against Real Madrid.
Too slow.
Well, McKennie in the middle. McKennie in the middle. Like,
having them,
say,
I mean, that's
McKennie
the state of you in 2025. That's your starting 11.
It's my source texted me, and he's not always. No. It's not something. And
now, Freddie Scoops with the scoop. He's the best in the business. See.
Now with that sound drop, you create all these expectations which are not there. I was going to say my source is very objective all of the time, and all likes to state facts or things that he knows. But he texted me, and I'm gonna roughly translate. He texted me, you know that feeling you get when you're in the car and you need to take an urgent shit? That's how Tudor handles the game. Full-blown panic.
That's called the fear. Google the fear.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what Tudor does every game. Like, every game, he just does random things, hoping for it to work out, which make no sense. You pull out your, what is Dusan, 1.87 or something in centimeters?
He's tall, yeah.
He's tall, and you take him off in order to put Kostic on, and the only thing Kostic can do, albeit not well, is throwing crosses in the box. For Openda, who barely even reaches over the grass that he's playing on. So
we're a broken record about it, Frederick. We have said this every game this season, where either the game plan is wrong with the players were right, or the players or the game plan is right and the players are wrong. And oftentimes it takes subs in order to change that, but the subs come often too late, or they come at the right time, but they're the wrong subs. it's a little bit comical, and
I never know how to pronounce the correct way of that. Something in a peg in a square hole, circle. How do you say that?
Square peg in a round hole.
That's literally what it is.
A little bit, and I think that's why to shout out the scoop. The episode that we did just a couple. What was it, yesterday? I don't even remember. My concept of time is screwed.
Monday.
That's why with Como and with all the draws that the organization's exploring alternatives, because Tudor at this point, and I do not take what he says in press conferences necessarily to heart, because I don't put much stock in it, but his demeanor on the sideline, maybe not today, but his demeanor like against Como, his demeanor in the press conference, he seems like he's out of ideas. And I think that's also indicative of how he's treating these games, where it's just disjointed. There's not synced up. As much as we did play better today than over the last 7 games, give or take, still, I still feel like Tudor is not making us better than maybe an alternative.
Can I put in a little quote by Tudor yesterday in the pre-match? And this is, you can verify. He said, if we didn't have these awful referee decisions And if the calendar wasn't that bad and we played Cremonese instead of Milan, we would have been first.
Damn.
He literally said that. I mean, that alone in a press conference, if you're saying, oh no, the referees, oh no, the calendar, as a Juventus coach, I'd fire you on the spot. I'm firing you on the spot just for that alone. I mean, that's so Mazzari like, the whining, the I just can't stand that. Like it's the same with Motta and Conte and a lot of coaches we know. There's no self-reflection, no, okay, I'm messing up or I did some things wrong. I should learn from that, or the team should learn from that, or we're trying our best and it's an up and down situation and we don't like it either, but it's something that'll lead us forward in the next coming seasons. Things like that. No, you start whining about coaches, you start whining about referees, you start whining about the calendar. For me, that's inexcusable.
Yeah.
For me, that's
Yeah.
inexcusable.
No, Juventus doesn't do
So-
that. Can I kind of want to throw this over to Damiano because several people have talked about Vlahovic in the chat. And as much as I keep saying how slow he is, we said earlier at the top of the program that was sort of substitution Vlahovic from the start. And I think we should credit maybe as a, during our man of the match discussion, we didn't talk about him, but I think maybe he get an honorable mention. Damiano, don't you think that Dusan today was a much better version of his normal self?
I mean, his normal self isn't a much better version of his normal self, isn't much, but it's still, I see what you're saying. It is a step in the right direction. However, when he comes off the bench, he at least puts it in the net, or has. And today he did not. And it was basically because he didn't finish the play. Like he didn't finish the run. Like that. Yeah, he came out with the chip on his shoulder. I like that. He pressed a little bit. Sometimes I like that. That was nice to see him in like the little bit of aggression. It's good. However, he needs to finish. And it's like we could have gone up 1-0 due to him finishing the play or finishing the run. It's so much better than his normal self. Sure, it was better than his normal self, but was it what I expect from a guy making that much money? No.
His distribution play was much better.
Yeah,
Like he actually completed some passes. He had collected the ball. I mean, again, it didn't amount to anything, we know, but that those are intangibles or basics that we generally don't see. Yeah. So I don't know if it's my expectations are so low that I'm rewarding average play or maybe I don't know if I'm giving him too much credit or too little credit. I just thought that several people have talked about him in the chat. I wanted to kind of toss it up to you because I know you've spoken about a lot about Vlahovic in the past.
Well, speaking of the chat,
it's progressing, but it's not like anything not like we're getting our money's worth out the guy.
Oh, yeah, no way. Shout outs to Mitch. He says that I wanted to quit smoking, but then there's another Juve game. Thomas, hello, boys. Hard to come here after another loss, but we do what we got to do. Hey, and then Zach says that we're here, rain or shine. Thomas always saying, I'm 48 and I'm tired of the rain for a long time. Sky is saying that why are people surprised? What do you expect from Tudor? Juve is getting what they paid for. People are certainly turning on Tudor as well. Okay, and another comment from Sky is that my solution to this problem is you fire Tudor immediately and get us a world-class coach that will use the remaining season to see how to get a decent solution for both this season and future seasons. From where? Sky, where are you getting that top coach from?
And we'll still need a midfield.
We need, and I want to discuss
bare minimum.
The gravity of the situation. We need
here
to
we
start
go.
afresh in every department. The things I'm not gonna speak on some things. I shared openly with you guys in chat because it's between us, and my source wouldn't be very happy if I shared some of the things here on a podcast. But the things that go wrong within the organization that is Juventus these days,
I don't doubt it.
it's laughable. And I got a quote from my source. Adidas Italy is the worst organized enterprise that I ever encountered in terms of logistics, in terms of communication, and they get along fine with Juventus. That's literally the only company that can work together with us, and it's disgraceful what's happening. And for me, I'm today was an eye opener for me. The Como I expected a loss today as well, but I was hoping for something else.
Yeah.
At least,
Frederick,
getting in front and but yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Frederick, I have a question for you. Speaking of Alessandro Del Piero, so November 2008, everyone remembers the double at the Bernabeu, standing ovation for Del Piero. If we had Del Piero of 2008 on our team today, are we winning this game? In other
No.
words, were we? I mean, you remember the team from 2008. Del Piero was like the guy on it, and they went there and they won. So compare the two teams mentality wise, because we're going to Bernabeu in 2008 with Del Piero. The only thought is to win. Like, that's the difference. Even with the worst teams that we had, there was no other way. The victory was just the goal of that game.
We were a woeful team back then, but we came out guns blazing, knives between the teeth. We went for it in every way, shape, or form that we could, and that's what's also missing, along with 1,350 other aspects of the football game. So, yeah, I mean, there's no comparison really. You could see at that point that there was something that started to grow within Juventus, because we came back from that 2006 season where we were relegated. You could tell that there was something that was happening. You could feel positivity, or at least you could see the light at the end at the end of the tunnel. I'm not so sure I can see it now. And to answer quickly on Mitch's question, he asks in the chat if I can tell one positive thing Kamoli did since taking over, and that's arguing with Tudor. That's at least one of the things which I find an improvement. But other than that, there are some things that he implemented, and I'm going to repeat myself, and the things that Zach said too in our last pod. We need to give Kamoli time, but time's running out for everybody. We could put a fantasy team of the world's best players right now on the pitch, and we still would, struggle.
And that,
And
to me, that mentality is what's missing, has been missing. And I think without that, that's got to be like number one. We doesn't matter who we put out there, who the coach is. We go out there. We're Juventus. We go to win, and we find a way to win. We come out physical. We come out with a vengeance. We come out. If all 11 players do that, that could change the game. And that's what I think the difference in teams in the past and teams since the Pirlo days. That's, I think, a common denominator. We keep changing coaches, we could change players, but we still don't have that mentality that we used to have of we're Juventus and we're going to come in, we're going to beat you down, and we're going to beat you, in the score too. We're going to come and win.
I'm laughing at the comment from Colo99, our friend Dan Colosimo. I can't believe Coop Miners played 70 minutes at the Bernabeu in 2020.
Well played. That's a bit of a stretch.
He was there. He
was on the pitch. He was on the pitch. I can't believe Kostic entered Bernabeu.
I mean, Kostic,
and actually put a nice shot on at the end.
Kostic had a chance to win, well, to tie, but oh man, yeah. Today's just a bag of mixed emotions, man. Like, first few minutes, I thought, I was being to quote Freddie, a negative Nancy. But the team did well, and it's like one of those games that it's so painful to lose, because we certainly had chances. Just to kind of put a cap, we will read a couple of comments from you guys, but I think we touched on everything we wanted to about this game. If any of you guys want to bring up if there's anything from Tudor, as far as his post-game interviews, please do. The boys in the hood, my boys I'm talking to, so we can read what Tudor said. But from what I'm reading in the comments, people are just very down on Tudor, and some people are saying, "What do you want him to do? He will not be there on the field playing for the guys."
Well, I think it was Thomas asked further up, like, how much impact can a coach have, right? I mean, it's like a coach, and I kind of want to delve into this because this is just deep into kind of my personal connection now to football at this stage of my life, working to get my coaching badges and so forth. A coach isn't going to take Pisa and win Serie A, but a coach's job is to get the best out of the players. In essence, make the whole greater than the sum of its parts. Okay. Part of that is a vision, a strategy, the tactics, the man management, and so forth. And other than the first game this year and the grinta that helped kind of bring us back against Inter and Dortmund, I don't see our team playing better than the sum of its parts. It was largely the same team that last year was playing, obviously had 16 draws in the league, but I think was actually playing better at this stage of the season than the team this year. And that strikes me as that Tudor doesn't know how to get the best out of these players and or is not articulating the message. So as much as I don't expect a coach to come in here and make us Champions League favorites, a different coach could very well make the sum of these parts greater than what we're seeing on the pitch today. And I think that's what the frustration is. A better coach or a different coach could come in and make better subs at the right time, could bring in a more cohesive message and put in the right players to fit that message from the start of the game. Again, something we haven't seen. And so while it's not all up on Tudor, and the players need to be responsible, like Tudor did not miss that chance that Openda had. Tudor did not fail to finish the run that Dusan had. 100% agreed. But at the same time, and they deserve the criticism for that. Tudor, I don't think, has done his part in making this team better.
There's certainly a lot of interesting comments where we have to wrap up soon, but it's we've had the most live watchers so far on this channel, so we appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm trying to pick out the best comment here, but people are down on Comoli as well. I'm seeing, the people just, that's what fans do. They're just upset at everyone and everything if things are not going well.
We're not down enough, I think, as a whole.
We're not down enough? It seems pretty
down. No. In the sense that Juventus has a very widespread fan base. And I'm very sure that if 80% of our fans would live in Turin, we would see a lot more protests and a lot more presence of the fans, I feel. Because if you pull this at a club like Roma or whatever, then you're gonna have some backlash. The backlash now is all internet directed. So I strongly have the feeling that management has no clue as to what is playing. Sure, they read the papers or get media bites, but I don't think they sense what the fans are feeling right now. And that alone is very frustrating for me, because say what you will about Andrea Agnelli, but he was in touch what we as supporters needed or felt, and he always
he
tried
was
to.
one, because he is a fan as well. That's why
He's one of the biggest. I never know that he missed a game even before his presidency. So yeah.
Masoud is bringing up an interesting point. We got to remember, Fred, not all Juve fans that are young remember a global power that was Juve. Us uncles and dads would continue to compare the old Juve to this, and he's basically saying we're expecting them to be something great. But like commentators mentioned, when was the last time? 2019, we were in a good position in the Champions League. So it's a lot of rebuild. It's going to get worse before it gets better, boys and girls.
That point is something that sticks with me, because I'm of a similar age to Frederic and Farhad, not like Mr. Youngster Damiano down there. But it's like I look at this team, and it makes absolutely no sense to compare it to teams past. because the players are not of a similar quality or a similar stature, and the team is not in a similar place. Expecting that same level from where we are is just, it's impractical because it's impossible. So I look at this team, and I think you have to calibrate your expectations to based on what we have out there. We all want to return to those days of success, and that's kind of what we hold on to, of the win every game mentality. But I try to, I don't know, maybe it's a defense mechanism, but you look at this team, you can't have the same expectations. You can't, because it's not. We are where we are. We have to be able to say realistically, with this team, what is a reasonable expectation to shoot for or to expect?
If we, and I'm not talking about Juventus past, but if you're one of the well-known teams in Europe, and you spend in less than a decade 1 billion euros on players, and you don't win anything, regardless of your history, then you're failing, you're flopping. And that's the biggest issue, because we had Juventus in the past, and I'm talking about 73 to 78. I'm talking about 93 up and about till 98 or 99, where we were either very good or very, very, very bad. But when we were very bad, we didn't have all this money, or when we had money, we did the right things with it. We sold Zidane. There was an uproar, but we got like 3 world-class players in return. We bought Buffon, Cannavaro, Nedved.
Nedved.
Now we spend 70 million euros on Koopmeiners. We don't know what to do with them. We spent 45 million on Openda. I'm not hating on Openda here, but
maybe.
Uh,
Not yet. Not yet.
a very, very, very small, maybe, but a maybe nonetheless. But I just mean, so that therein lies a big difference. Whether you had a period that was pretty bad in the past, you could see that something was afoot, and you could see that it was something that was momentarily happening. Now we've been stuck in this rut for 5 years in a row, and we're not competing in any way, shape, or form, domestically or internationally. And we're spending money like crazy. I mean, it's not even the fact that we don't have money, we're even spending money we don't have. So I mean, I would welcome the fact that we got looked into for financial fair play, and we won a couple of prizes, but not even that's happening. We're getting harassed by the UEFA, and we didn't even win something. I mean, it's ridiculousness times 2. It's banter at this point at Turin.
Boys and girls, I feel like we can get a last couple of words out of our boys here and say goodbye to y'all. Zach?
I have a question for Frederic.
Why did I have a feeling that this was gonna happen? But okay, go ahead.
No. It's kind of ties to our scoop episode a couple days ago, and I saw it. And apologies, I've lost it in the chat. But the question was: if we lose against Lazio,
I was going to say that.
Is Tudor sacked?
Let me put it this way: if we lose against Lazio, meaning we won't have won for 8 weeks straight, meaning we gathered, let me quickly think, I think 6 points from the last 10 games. Something along those lines. What would you do?
I'm asking you. No. I'm not asking you.
No.
I'm asking what the team will do.
I'm just gonna come out and say that Chiellini denied everything prior to the Real Madrid game. He said rumors about Tudor. No, people are writing stuff that are not true. There is nothing. There's no greater pleasure in continuing with Igor. We are very far away from a crisis. There's no crisis. The only crisis that's happening is people are writing too much. Blah 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 blah. Does this sound like somebody who's telling the truth right there?
Look, you said that's Chiellini, right? I mean, that's his business degree speaking.
That's his ass licking degree speaking, I think.
Oh,
But apart from
Jesus.
that, no, it's if Tudor doesn't win against Lazio, I think it's game over, especially with the international break coming up.
Yeah.
Do
And
you guys
I
think we
might.
scored against Lazio?
So Colo 99 has asked us for our predictions. So why don't we go around the horn real quick and say, and I'll start by saying I think we will score. I think we're going to come out on fire because the Tudor's going to go ape shit on the team. I think we're going to end up falling short and drawing against Lazio, and I'll say 2-2.
Damiano.
I'm going to say I don't. It's a hard one. I honestly, deep down inside, I don't feel like we are going to score, but the Juventino in me wants to say that we're going to win 2-1.
I think that we're gonna lose 2-1 or 1-2 or whatever. We're playing in Roma
Yep.
or not.
Oh yeah, is it away? It's away.
It's away.
Then we're losing
Yeah.
2-1.
I thought.
Easily.
Oh shoot! I thought it was at home. Oh,
That sounds like you're changing your prediction.
And then my perspective changed. Go on, Zach.
No.
What are you saying now?
Oh no, I'll stick by it. 2-2. Screw it. It's good. I mean, and I think this actually leads to a follow-up question that I see in the chat is, do you think I asked the question, if we lose, is he still fired? Do you, maybe I take a step back and say, do you think, and I'll throw this one to Damiano because the last one's to Frederic. Do you think the Lazio game could actually change Tudor's fate? Like if we come in and we win 5-0, or something.
We need a string of wins and positive, like a consistent. We need consistency. I think one result will not change. If we come in and win 5-0, that's great. But if we follow that up with a loss or a tie or a draw, then no. We need consistent wins.
A lot of things are going to depend. I heard that Thiago Motta has negotiations with several clubs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
nice
things
to get him off our books.
Yeah, if he signs tomorrow for whatever team, Villarreal, Panathinaikos, whatever, and our friend Igor F's up, I think the only thing shielding him at this point from getting sacked is Alcan, who doesn't want to pay 3 coaches simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's the reality.
But like, what? Let's be real. I mean, how many Tudor salaries make up a Duchamp's salary?
It's not just the salary; it's also his ego. Because you're being seen as the owner of a team, a professional team, a team with a huge history and legacy that's paying 3 coaches at the same time, and you're still not getting results. Imagine if you're the owner and you're walking in a room.
Yeah.
The guy that's paying 3 coaches simultaneously without winning anything. I mean,
what about paying 3 strikers without getting any goals? I mean.
Playing them a lot more. All right, I think we're trying to let go. I'll answer my own question, and then Farhad, you can sign us out. Or I don't think, from what we've seen from Tudor, anything from Lazio saves us, and I never want us to lose. So I'm never ever going to say it or want it or desire it, but that could very well accelerate the inevitable if that does happen against Lazio.
Well, Colo is wishing for it, and yeah, what kind of fan wishes a loss on his team? Am I right?
Don't shit out Colo. He does good work for us. So
he does excellent work, but he also said it would be better. It would be a blessing if we lose, if that means Tudor is gone.
If afterwards you win everything with a new coach, then I can't blame him.
Well,
but if you keep on repeating the same mistakes, and this is the big if, then what? We were all so happy. Oh, it's Giuntoli, it's Motta, it's Allegri 2.0. Things are going to change. No, it's Tudor. He's a real Juventino. He came from Croatia by car, blah, 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 blah. And we're still sad here. So I'm not popping the cork on my Dom Perignon 72 right now. So
Well, either way, thank you guys for a great post, Damiano, Zach, Frederick, and of course everyone in the chat. Like I mentioned, this was the largest gathering so far, and our channel will continue to grow if you guys continue to support us, and we do truly appreciate you guys. Yeah, it's a sad way to lose. Me personally, I'm kind of disappointed, and when I watched the highlights later, I know there were moments that we should have scored, and we should have showed a little more fight. But either way, we continue. Lazio, October 26th on Sunday. We're playing away, and then following Juventus Udinese, October 29th. So, but that's it for Real Madrid Juventus, boys and girls. Thank you to everyone who joined us in the chat. Check on your friends, stay hydrated, and Forza Juve.
Purple Finest.
Yeah, siamo finiti in B, gli unici a pagare per calciopoli. Yeah, e qui non ci piove, che nel cuore di scudetti sono 29. Voglio tutto e tutti, solo per seguirti. Bianco nero, bianco nero, bianco nero, bianco nero. Un solo grido, dalla curva si alzerà. Bianco nero, bianco nero, bianco nero, bianco nero. Per 29 volte campioni d'Italia, per niente e nulla al mondo abbandonerò sta squadra. Tra tutte quante di fissa più stile, storia un amore senza una